Tomorrow is our important CPI event here in the US. With CPI comes the new inflation rate, forecasted to drop to 6%. We've been talking about Jerome Powell and the Fed a lot recently because Powell claims the new monetary policy plan is to raise rates more quickly. CPI tomorrow will be the last big indicator of whether the Fed keeps its word about raising rates more quickly or not. Let's take a look ahead at other news events happening this week. Tomorrow, the UK's unemployment rate comes out, currently projected to raise up to 3.8%. Wednesday is a huge day for the news. To start off the day, the UK is announcing their annual budget, followed by the monthly PPI numbers and retail sales numbers in the US. Then later on that day, New Zealand's quarterly GDP numbers will be released, and to close out the day, the Australian unemployment rate is announced, currently forecasted to drop to 3.6%. Lastly, on Thursday, the Euro's new monetary policy statement will be released, projected to raise 50 basis points up to 3.5%. Remember, you can watch us cover the news live all week, including tomorrow for the huge CPI event, so come join us right here on the A1 channel at 8:15 a.m. Eastern Time to watch the spike with us. All right, everybody, let's check out the market heat map really quickly. Let's see how some of our assets are trending so far today. So right off the top, I see the US indices up here. They're all up on the day so far, which is interesting because taking a look at the Edge Finder earlier, I noticed that all of the US indices were actually down to start the day. So they have rallied big time in just a couple of hours. The NASDAQ 100, S&P 500, and the US 30 have all turned it around and made some nice moves to the upside. Gold, on the other hand, gold was up a little bit to start the day, but now it is up a massive 2.58% on the day so far. So gold absolutely shooting towards the upside to start the day. So gold traders, that was a good looking day for gold right there, and we'll see how it continues to trend throughout the day and where it closes at. Do you have any questions about any of our products or services? Right now, members of the A1 Trading team are standing by, waiting to assist you. You can head over to our website, a1trading.com, and click the icon in the bottom right-hand corner to chat with one of our team members live. You can also go to a1trading.com/contact and fill out the Contact Us form, and someone will get back to you shortly. We have our helpful and friendly members of our support staff ready to chat with you anytime Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So what are you waiting for? If you have any questions, feel free to chat with us live right now on the A1 Trading website. Let's keep moving on with some of our other big movers to the upside so far today. We have the NZD USD, Aussie USD, GBP USD, Aussie CAD, and NZD CAD. So I'm seeing a lot of US dollar crosses as well as some Canadian dollar crosses moving to the upside so far today. Let's take a look at the movers to the downside. We have USD JPY, Euro NZD, USD CHF, Euro AUD, USD CAD, and GBP NZD. Again, another thing that I just love about the Edge Finder and the market heat map especially is the fact that it's getting updated every 15 minutes. It's getting updated very quickly. And so as things are trending and moving in the market, so are, the market heat map is updating along with it. Earlier, like I mentioned when I was taking a look at the market heat map, there was a lot of yen crosses that were down here towards the bottom. USD JPY was down here, but I believe so was Euro JPY and CAD JPY, GBP JPY too, maybe. They are still making moves to the downside, but they were a lot lower. So it's just really interesting to see how all of these different indices and commodities, these currency crosses, how they all trend throughout the market, throughout the day with different news events and different things happening and traders buying and selling and just everything that causes the markets to shift and how much one pair, one asset can go from being way down to way up in one day. It's all very interesting. So the market heat map, a super useful tool for all sorts of traders, swing traders, day traders. And I'm going to go ahead and mention that we do have those 3 different versions of the Edge Finder available to you. We have a free version, a very limited version of the Edge Finder that I do believe comes with the market heat map with the free version. So you can actually get access to that same information I was just looking at by going to the link in the description and getting access to the free version of the Edge Finder. And then we also have the basic and the pro version of the Edge Finder as well, that you can get at a discounted price when when you use code A1YT. So if you are interested in the basic version or the pro version, both come with more features than the free version. Of course, the basic version has a couple more features than the free version, and the pro version has absolutely everything unlocked for you. You can get that at a discounted price when you use code A1YT at checkout. But let's go ahead and check out our buy and sell biases. So we have a huge list of buys and sells currently. I'm going to go ahead and remove any indices or commodities that we might have, just so that we can focus on currency pairs, kind of shorten up this list just a little bit. So there we are. These are just our currency pairs that are buys and sells currently. Still a really nice list. We have 4 strong buys here, 3 strong sells, a whole big list of sells, and a few other buys here. But let's go ahead and figure out what pair we're going to take a look at today. So I think that it's only fitting that we check out a US dollar pair ahead of CPI tomorrow. We have our huge CPI event tomorrow that is going to be our new inflation rate, currently forecasted to drop. We will see if that happens. AUD USD is sticking out to me because it has our strongest score, a -10 score, tied with Aussie NZD. But strongest score, strong sell, US dollar cross. I think we're going to take a look at Aussie US. We also do have we have another Australian event happening on Wednesday, the Australian unemployment rate. So we can get an update on that number heading into that event as well. So here we go with our AUD USD breakdown. A strong sell bias score of -10, like I've mentioned. COT data is a score of -2, and retail sentiment a score of -1. Let's take a look at those numbers right over here. So COT data, or institutional trader data, we're going to see what smart money traders are currently going long and short on. And I can see here that currently smart money traders are favored long on the US dollar, 64.97%, and 35.03% short here on the US dollar. Australian dollar, on the other hand, 62.18% short and 37.82% long. So institutional traders clearly favored long on the dollar and short on the Australian dollar. Retail sentiment, on the other hand, 69% long here from retail traders, 31% short. So the retail traders or day traders, they are favored long on AUD USD. Seasonality is a score of -1. We can see here that in the month of March, historically speaking, when we're taking a look at the last 10-year average price points in the month of March, historically speaking, this pair does tend to trend downwards, making some bearish moves, historically speaking, in the month of March, taking a look at the past 10 years. Now, our trend reading is a score of -2 because over the past couple of weeks, this thing has been making some major moves to the downside. This has been a -10 strong sell bias for a while now, partially because that trend has been moving down. Now, over the past couple of days, we have seen a move to the upside. In fact, it's actually up somewhat significantly today. Price forecast does predict that this thing will continue to make moves to the downside. But of course, we do have that US event happening tomorrow, the Australian event happening on Wednesday, and those are both major factors for what could potentially happen with this pair. So we'll have to monitor that, see what happens with those two events. But yeah, over the past couple of days, it has made some nice moves to the upside, but over the past couple of weeks, it has certainly been making some major moves to the downside. Let's go ahead and finish up with our fundamentals: GDP growth, inflation, unemployment, and interest rates, all scores of -1, and we can get into those numbers right over here. So GDP growth for Australia, 0.5% compared to 2.7% for the US. Inflation in Australia, 7.8% compared to 6.4% in the US. Of course, CPI happening tomorrow, expected to drop down to 6%. We'll see if that happens or not. Unemployment in Australia, 3.7% compared to 3.6% in the US. Again, Australian unemployment rate happening on Wednesday. That is actually projected to raise up to 3.8%, I believe. So we'll see if that happens. And interest rates, 3.6% currently on the Australian dollar and 4.75% on the US dollar. So there we go. AUD USD, some updated numbers for you. We have two major events for the US dollar and the Australian dollar happening later this week, but AUD USD currently listed as a strong sell bias score of -10 in the Edge Finder.
Of course, Gold was a big one that James mentioned. Let's take a quick look at XAU USD and see what's going on the price action chart here this morning. And you can see, look at this, the gold market just going parabolic here and really breaking through key levels of resistance that were pretty surprising to bears and to myself included. I thought we would see some more response. Did not get it. I don't have any trades on with gold or anything like that, but I was very, very surprised that we just blew through resistance like this. Usually you would expect some response to a level like this, but we got nothing. Price just broke right through and now is screaming to the upside. And so you have to ask yourself, is this something I want to buy? Do I want to be buying gold as it rallies up like this? And I think a lot of traders, they make mistakes on both ends. They either force a trade right here and they buy it, right? They chase a trade, or they try and short this thing. And I think really up in this area, this is a trading area where there's nothing to do here. So let me clarify what I mean by that. If you caught the long trade, whether you traded a breakout on the lower time frames or something like that, if you're in a long trade, then great. You've got a position here where you can kind of just trail stops and let this winner run. If you're trying to be short here, you're going to be trying to basically jump in front of a moving train. That's very difficult to do. And if you're trying to go long here, you're chasing. So in my opinion, the only trade that was available on this chart was something before the big move like this. So if you have a trade on, awesome. You probably, if you're long on this thing, then great. You might be rejoicing, making good money, that sort of thing. But there's nothing to do up here. So what am I getting at? Well, if you're wanting to be long, my opinion would be wait for some sort of retracement, wait for something to come back into play after this big run. So I'm not going to be chasing the move up here. I'm going to say if this market gives us a pullback, right, retraces that big move, then perhaps there's something to be said for a buy, maybe at the 50% retracement, etc. And again, continuing to monitor because the top might not be in, right? This is one of the scenarios, guys, where oftentimes retail traders, I'll show you guys some data that might be interesting to you. Oftentimes retail traders, when a market gets moving like this, the first thing they want to do is they want to go against the move. And I'll show you that. I haven't even looked at this, but I'm just assuming here. We'll see if my assumption is correct that retail traders are shorting gold right now. And there it is. So retail traders are piled into a 78% short ratio compared to only 22% on the long side. So retail traders are piling in to a short trade on this thing. And that is pretty incredible to think about if you're looking at this and you say, okay, wow, this chart is absolutely going parabolic. The trap, I think, often in these moves is that traders try and sell this thing. They try and sell it as it's going up, thinking, oh, well, the top has got to be in. It's gonna continue back the other direction soon. But this thing can go a lot longer than people may expect. And if you're in a long trade, like I said, congrats. That's awesome, because gold very well could rally all the way up to like 1960. We've broken the 1900 mark. That's a huge level for the bulls. So we'll see if that persists. But just a lesson to think about. This data, by the way, guys, if you would like access to this, this is available. We have a free version of the Edge Finder that you can get access to. We're going to drop a link to that in the chat if you would like to try out our data. Again, this is the Edge Finder. It's our market scanning software that my team has built, and we have a free version available. If you'd like to play with retail sentiment data, you can see what their positions are looking like 100% for free. All you got to do is grab access to that data with the link that just got dropped in the chat. So yeah, look at that. Gold just keeps going. 1908 now printing here on the screen and flying high.
Don't forget to check out the links in the description if you want our broker recommendation, access to our free Discord, free Edge Finder, or want to chat with us on Telegram. Remember, you can watch us live in the markets every morning starting at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and we have lots more free trading tools and content available on our website, a1trading.com. Thanks for watching.